Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the 1ND podcast. I'm your host, Vikas, joined by my co-host, Sagar. And today, we're going to be talking about Call of Duty.
Yeah, and I think we should just talk about everything, like, under the sun. Just as, like, a forewarning, me and you, we don't really play any campaign. I remember playing the Black Ops 1 campaign, and I really enjoyed it, but haven't really played any campaign since then. We really just love multiplayer, and then this game's Warzone, like, it's Battle Royale, it's pretty fire, so that's what we'll talk about. I think we should start with, just multiplayer, because that's what we played longer.
Yeah, so, as a background, so when did we start playing? I started playing COD a lot in Black Ops 1. That was, like, my first COD. But I got introduced to COD in Modern Warfare 2. We'd go to Sagar's house, not you, the other one, and play a ton of Modern Warfare 2, quick scopes off of Rust and whatnot, 1v1s. I was bad back then, admittedly. But, after years and years of playing, there's been a drastic improvement in my skill level. And so, yeah, I've played Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 3. I didn't like the middle ones. I liked Ghosts, actually. But nobody really played with me. And then I didn't like Infinite Warfare or Advanced Warfare or everything in between. I liked Black Ops 4. I didn't like Black Ops 3. And I only played them with, like, my old college roommate or something like that. So Black Ops 4 was the last game that you and I played. And then, obviously, this most recent Modern Warfare one, which is by far the best Call of Duty in the last, 5, 6, 7 Call of Duties.
Yeah, no, I would agree. And most of the games, like, I can't even remember which ones I played. Mostly for me, it would just, I would pick up the latest Call of Duty off the shelf, and then we would just play it, because, like, we played it, and then a couple of our friends played it. So I don't really remember that many titles. The most memorable one has to be Black Ops 1, because I think that was the first Black Ops on just Call of Duty game in general, which I really, enjoyed. And I played a little bit of Modern Warfare 2 with you guys, I remember, but I really sucked at the game. Like, I've been really terrible at this game for, like, the last 8 years. Like, I'm finally decent in this gen, and I think that just because, I'm not a kid anymore, and we've been playing so much, so I've gotten used to it. But, yeah, I was not the biggest, like, FPS guy, because I just sucked at the game. So, like, when you're not good at it, and you're not getting better, it's kind of hard to, like, enjoy it as much. But now it's definitely a lot better and more fun for me. And I think that has to do a lot with, playing with you, and, like, skill-based matchmaking now is pretty interesting, I would say. You can't really pub stomp like you could, like, back in the day. I remember, like, you used to go crazy and, like, spawn trap people and stuff. It's kind of harder to do now, just because the people you play with are equally as skilled as you most of the time. So,
dude, in Black Ops 1, I loved running Blackbird Chopper Gunner Dogs. Like, I still remember to this day running that and continue. Like, how old was I in Black Ops 1 days? I think I was in, like, middle school.
Yeah, it might have been like
or
12,
like
13, something like that.
School. Yeah, and it was just so much fun. And that game, it was you, AK, and I that would really play. And then I believe I don't think Anjane or Hamel played too much Black Ops 1. But I think they came in towards the end, right? And that's when they got their Xboxes, because they're younger than us.
Yeah.
It took me a while to buy my own Xbox at that age, bro. But once I got it, I was not looking back, because oh my goodness. So I think for me, the 3 titles that I've played the most in my life, number 1, Pokemon. Well, not in any order, obviously, but number 1, Pokemon, Minecraft, and Call of Duty. If you combine my days played and in all those games combined, I think you could easily say I've spent a year of my life, of my 23 years on this earth, playing one of those 3 games.
Oh man. Okay. Definitely Pokemon for me, obviously, as well as COD. I didn't really play Minecraft that much. I put some hours, but, like, maybe not even 10% of what you have. So,
Definitely
can't relate.
I think maybe 1%.
Yeah, probably, dude. Like, I didn't play that game.
I've been playing since middle school.
And basically, I allocated those Minecraft hours into anime, if you're curious. So, yeah, that's where my time went. I can tell you that.
I remember. So yeah, so we started Black Ops 1 was the ones that we both kind of actually started playing and having a good time with. I don't know if you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I know AK did not enjoy it as much as I did.
And that was just because we sucked. Like, we were bad at the game.
Yeah, but it's okay. We had a good time. No skill based matchmaking. We could enter any lobby, and we do all right, you know. And then Modern Warfare 3 came along, and then you got it, but I don't think you played it very much.
No.
And then AK didn't get it, but then Anjane and Hamel got it. And then that's when I feel like I got a little more competitive because they were also good, but also it was so funny when playing with them because they would argue all the time. They literally hated each other in that game. And I don't know who I would instigate some of the arguments, but when it's in the middle because I found it funny. But
I can
never
see
knew,
you doing that, yeah.
Yeah, but it was funny to me, right? Because to me, they weren't really like, they were just arguing about the game. I didn't know if they didn't like each other or anything. It didn't seem like it, right? Because we would still play together. It's not like, I mean, Anjane would get on and, play quite a bit. But when Hamel and I were on, he would play with us, So it's never like, it didn't seem like they disliked each other. It seems like they were just getting angry at one another, in the game for whatever reason, But Modern Warfare 3, us three used to pub stomp. And then there were 3v3 game modes that we would also do well in. Modern Warfare 3 was a good one.
Yeah,
so
I don't
remember you had it, but you never played it.
Like, honestly, it's a blur to me. Like, I don't even remember which games I played. All I remember now is Black Ops 1, Black Ops 4, and then Modern Warfare. Like, between Black Ops 1 and 4, like, I don't even remember which games I bought and which games I played. It was kind of like the time when I really did not care for Call of Duty, just because I was not good. And, like, there was other things I found more interesting and more fun. So,
right.
I probably played Modern Warfare 3. I don't think I got Ghosts or anything like that. I really don't remember.
I think you had... So you got Modern Warfare 3, but I think your Xbox kind of tore it up a little bit or something.
Maybe I remember that. I remember that.
I don't remember which one it was. And then you got another copy of either Madden or COD, and then your Xbox just tore it up again and just made a ring around the disc or something.
I think that's when I just scratched my Xbox. Like, I just threw it away.
Yeah.
And, like, well, not threw it away, but, like, stopped using it. And then, so, from the time my Xbox was out of commission until when I built a gaming PC, I didn't really have any, like, console or, like, thing to play COD on. So, I guess it would make sense that I had such a, like, big jump in time. Because I just didn't have anything to play the games on.
Well, to be fair... Well, okay, so... Pretty sure you had Black Ops 2 as well.
Probably. I honestly don't remember. It's like... Those years are a blur.
Because that was a better one as well. And then I remember you would play that one more than Modern Warfare 3. I remember because it was me, you, Hamel, and Anjane. And
okay.
Those were pretty decent times as well. I like Black Ops 2. And then Ghosts, I think, came after that. And that's where it, like, kind of dwindled for me. And that's when I probably started playing Minecraft more. I started playing Minecraft earlier, but, like, Call of Duty was for the weekends with the boys. And then it just started to be, like, boring. And nobody would play on Ghosts. And I wasn't really enjoying it either. And so then we had that hiatus, right? That a few years. And then we got our gaming PCs. And we're like, you know what? Let's see what all the hubbub is about COD. Because we came into... So then we saw Black Ops 4 was on sale or something. And we're like, yeah, might as well, right?
Yeah, we got the tail end of, like, Black Ops 4.
And I think I bought it full price with Anjane. And then it took so much convincing for you to get it. Like,
yeah, that's like me. Because that was like me getting back into the franchise. Because I was like on a solid hiatus for years. And then I think it was like $30 for online only.
Multiplayer. Yep.
Which is like all I played anyway. So it was like $30, might as well. And I did get my $30 out of that game. That was a great game.
Yeah, I didn't mind it at all. It was pretty darn good. I didn't like the battle royale in that game.
It was very weird. So like that's the one thing I want to kind of touch on. Like there was like points where we got tired of the game. Like you even said it was boring, but then like now this game is so much fun. Like I'm thinking of how I should quantify what makes these games good, but it's like so many different things. It's not like one thing I can pinpoint it on. And same goes for that battle royale, like you said, right? In Black Ops 4, it was kind of meh. It like I can't really objectively define it. I just didn't get the right like vibe from it. Like, it was really weird. And like with this one, it's a lot better. I really don't understand.
I'm not a huge battle royale person in general.
Yeah,
Like,
same.
we played Fortnite, but very little,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not a fan of Fortnite. I'm not a fan of battle royales in general. I just they are. I can see the appeal, but I feel like with us, we've gotten so accustomed to playing these multiplayer games that are quick. Like, we don't play search and destroy. We play like domination, demolition, like objective game modes, and we like running around getting kills
Yeah.
and streaks and whatnot, and pub stomping. Essentially, you can't pub stomp really that much anymore with skill based matchmaking, but we still do pretty well in in multiplayer. Um, but I think that's the appeal for us with these shooter games. And battle royales just take a little more time because you got to wait in the lobby for a while, then you got to drop for a while, then you got to land, pick up items, and then you can get to work, right? So there's a lot of downtime between, like, in the time you are waiting, you could probably play a quick team deathmatch on Shoe House.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. And like I find like a common theme with like beloved maps. You know what I mean? Like maps over time that people like find as classics and the one they love. Like Nuketown is a like all-time classic. Rust is a classic. And from this game, Shoot House I think will be a classic. Like they're smaller maps, right? So you get like a lot more action. And then you're going from this like fan favorite map size to like this huge map, which is like hundreds of times the size of a smaller map. And like the playstyle is so different that it may not really suit the taste of everyone, right? Like what made those maps popular was that they were so small and you got so much action. Whereas like with a battle royale, the map is huge and you don't get that much action. So there's definitely that like difference in like like the way you play the game.
And I think with the battle royale, there's also different ways you have to set up your guns, right? You
Yeah.
gotta have a gun for long range interaction and short range interaction, or like even a custom your gun for long range, which you really don't have to do in multiplayer because the longest range is like medium range. And we didn't play ground war, that 100v100 or whatever,
No.
or 50v50.
We played a couple and we were not fans.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest. And so with Warzone, I think the reason we got into it's a great battle royale, and you can see that with the numbers, right?
Yeah.
Like it's by far the most battle royale game right now out, and it's not. It maybe not be as big as Fortnite was at its peak, but it seems to be more consistent, and so I think people are really enjoying it, and you can see how it kind of like Fortnite is dwindling a little bit in the success of Modern Warfare, because I was looking at it earlier. You have these big streamers, right? Like I think we were just looking Nick Mercs, Cloaksy. I don't know if Nick Mercs played Fortnite. So Cloaksy, Tim the Tatman, Symphony. These guys were like big Fortnite streamers, and when the new season came out, they didn't really play Fortnite. Right? Like you would think, hey, they would go back if it's a fun game, but they didn't. They were playing Modern Warfare. And that just goes to show like how the battle royales have just shifted. The main one is Call of Duty right now, and it seems like I think I read something online where the next Black Ops will be trying to bring this Warzone over.
Oh, wow.
Or something of the sort. They named it Warzone, so I'm assuming they're going to try and build off of this or continue it in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason, honestly, that we play Warzone is because of our friends.
Yeah.
Right? We would want to play with Kunal and shopltwkbrand.com, by the way. We would want to play with Kunal, and he doesn't have the full game. Like, we would prefer to play multiplayer with Kunal, but he had the free Warzone version. And so we played a lot of Warzone with Kunal to varied amounts of success. And then we slowly got used to it. We slowly accumulated more knowledge as to, we can't use our multiplayer setups in Warzone. That just doesn't work. Our multiplayer setups are set up for medium to short range, versus Warzone you got to have like your long range engagements down pack. Then DC Sagar started playing more, Warzone because he got to have his PS4 again, and so the three of us, you, Sauger, and I, playing the same game has always been like a dream of ours. I feel because he had PS3 while we had Xbox back in the day, and so we couldn't really play with him, and he doesn't have a Nintendo Switch. We can't play Smash with him right now or anything. So the best thing we have is Warzone, because he doesn't want to play multiplayer with us because of skill-based matchmaking. He wants to say it's because we steal all the kills, but there's plenty of kills to go around. Everyone else is getting kills. It's the skill-based matchmaking that I think is frustrating him, and I can see why. Like, right, like if you go in these crazy lobbies that you're not used to, and for him, he doesn't play as much. Well, he does now, but he didn't play as much before, and you start to face these guys who are just beaming you down from spawn. They know all the, like, it's like, hey, they know where you're gonna spawn next. They know the sight lines. They know how to get to you better than you can because you don't have the same knowledge that they do. And to an extent, you want him to play multiplayer with us because it'll help him get better.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you've gotten so much better in such a small amount of time, right? Like, I'm not gonna say I'm amazing at the game, but I'm pretty decent. Yeah. And to play in this, like, you've got to play up at that point when you're not used to playing games like that, and to where the point. So, like, let's say KDs, right? I'm like at a 1-3, 1-4 because I like to rush a little too much, right? If I played a little more cautiously, I could probably get it up pretty high, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you and I are pretty similar in that we just run and gun, and it's the most fun for us.
Yeah. And like now, just based on like the skill-based matchmaking and stuff, like, so my KD got bricked early in this game because I was playing really only with you, and like, so I still wasn't that great at the game. So like, I used to go like 500 all the time, and like now I'm going like pretty positive most of the time. Like 80% of the time I'll be positive, and so my KD isn't 1, but like if I were to like have a clean slate for a KD, it would probably be over 1 at this point. But you know, it's just like getting used to it, and like playing up is what makes you better at stuff. So I totally like, I like the fact that they're harder to play because then it makes you better, and it's and when you're better at a game, like I was saying earlier, like you're just going to enjoy it that much more, right? Because you're not going to rage about like lag or like some kind of lag spike or whatever. It's like you're good at the game and like you can do well, so it makes it more enjoyable.
Exactly. And if you're just dying a whole bunch, then I know you're not going to enjoy the game. And like, but the problem is, bro, Sauger doesn't like Shoot House. He likes Shipment, and I hate Shipment. I think, see, like, you know, I can get a lot of kills on Shipment, top leaderboard almost every time. But the problem is, it's such a mindless map. You know, like, you just run around and hope that someone appears in front of you, and you don't really have to think about it.
Yeah.
And like, I guess it's fun, but I don't know. To me, I like a little bit of strategy going into it. And there's one thing that you were saying, like, you like playing in the tougher lobbies, right? Because it makes you better. And then when you go back to your lobbies, when you're playing on your own, you're just like a god amongst men.
Dude, it feels like level 1 CPUs. Like, it's honestly kind of surprising at how many different tier level of players are playing the game. Because I swear, like, I will go back to those lobbies, and like with you, I'll go like, what, like 25 and 20, right? But then I'll go back to these lobbies and I'm going like 45 and 3 and 45 and like 4, because like they're just so bad. I don't understand how like there's that big of a difference in the matchmaking, and like there's that many people who suck.
I wish they would bring back like general lobbies. I love pub stomping, and like I don't think it really affects the game. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just seems like if you play the game, maybe there's a standard deviation that they need to figure out. Like, see how many people are actually good or bad. Like, are there more good people than bad people, and you want to keep the bad people around so you keep skill-based matchmaking? I don't know. I don't know what to do in that point, but I think take it out. I don't enjoy it.
But like, I think the one thing that we kind of highlighted is that there is a downside to it, that at the end of the day, the objective is to play the game with your friends, right? It's more fun when you play with people that you know and like you can team with. And that's why we play Warzone. But one of the main reasons that we can't play multiplayer together is because Sauger does not like the level of people we play with. So is that really like destroying the essence of the game, where the objective is to play with your friends, some of which who may not like be as good, and they might find it discouraging to play in the same like higher level lobby as their friends because they won't be as good. And so I think that that's kind of a negative, and I wonder if it's a big enough of an impact to make them rethink skill-based matchmaking. Because again, this is just anecdotal, right? But we literally have a friend who we want to play multiplayer with, but he does not want to play multiplayer solely because of skill-based matchmaking with us. So I wonder how big of an impact it's had on like other groups of friends who may be on like different levels of skill.
That's a good point. I never thought of that. I wonder if Call of Duty is seeing that across the board. But maybe they're like, hey, you play with people of your skill level or something like that. I remember Anjane sent me a meme. I forget the content of it. But yeah, the thing is with skill-based matchmaking, right? You can, I think it averages the people in your party, but I'm not sure. And if you're playing, let's say we're playing basketball, and we're playing 1v1 against Dwight Howard, who doesn't go easy on anyone, right? You're not gonna learn very much by playing 1v1 against Dwight Howard. You're basically gonna learn that you're trash at the game compared to him,
Yeah.
especially, and it'll kind of demotivate you because you're punching too high. So as good as it is to play in lobbies that are like higher level, if the level is too high, I don't know. I feel like I can see where he's coming. I can see where Soccer's coming from, where he doesn't want to play with us.
Yeah, and so it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the next game. I mean, there's rumors for the next game. Are you thinking it's Black Ops? Like, I have no idea. Like, I'm not sure what it's going to be.
I mean, it's usually it alternates Black Ops, Modern Warfare, Black Ops, Modern Warfare.
Okay, and
or maybe there was a Sledgehammer one in the middle. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't keep up with all this like game rumor type stuff.
Yeah, neither do I. And I think one other thing I wanted to touch on was the first impression of like Modern Warfare. So, like, what was your first impression when we first started playing the game?
I think what I wanted from a Call of Duty game is to go back to the boots on the ground type thing, because I wasn't a fan of the space stuff, like flying, jetpacks, all that sort of things. And Black Ops 4 was like essentially boots on the ground, and most of the maps I feel like on Black Ops 4 were nostalgia from the other two Black Ops, the first two Black Ops, which I enjoyed personally because those were my favorite ones. And so the fact that this one is literally just back to the roots and just feels like a smooth Call of Duty game that you've always wanted, it's perfect. Honestly, the multiplayer is great. I don't like the skill-based matchmaking, but everything else is awesome. They made a brand new good map, and the thing with these, the most popular maps are small, relatively,
they are.
with 3 lanes. They're 3-lane small maps, and those are always the most popular ones in Call of Duty. There are some exceptions, but there's like, you've got your Nuketown, Shoot House from this game. You've got Dome, which was a pretty good one in Modern Warfare 3. Black Ops 2, you've got Raid. And so you see all these like pretty good maps. They're basically 3 lanes. There's 3 sections of the map. And not huge maps. I think Raid was one of the fan favorites. Oh, Hijacked, also a fan favorite. The one with the boat. And there's like an underground portion of the boat. I enjoyed that one too. Not as much as the other top ones, but
was that the one with like the cruise ship in Black Ops? I remember that one.
Yep, that's that one.
Yeah,
Black Ops 2. See, you did play Black Ops 2.
Was that a Black Ops 2 game? I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure. It was Black Ops 2.
Yeah. So my first impression of the game was honestly pretty bad. Like when I first started, like I remember there was a lot of campers and. Like I used to,
I didn't remember that.
I used to like check, like like when you're crossing the street, you like look at both sides. Like I used to look at both sides like 18 times. Then it started like running across the street, and I'd just get gunned down, like from someone far away camping in a building somewhere aiming down. And I did not really like the camp heavy like vibe of it. And some of the maps are duds. Like at least when the game first released, like the maps they had, like Anaya Palace, like we both agree, terrible map. I really don't like it. Then there was a couple others I don't like, and they were like larger maps, so it was harder for me because I love small maps. And then the other thing I did not like was like an aesthetic thing where I don't know why, but like the look of the game to me was like very off-putting when I first started playing. I can't put my tongue on it. I don't know what it was, but it just did not look right to me. It's like just one of those inner like gut feeling kind of things. And I think that was just because there was such a major stylistic change from Black Ops 4 to Modern Warfare. Or like I think in Black Ops 4 things were a little more, I wouldn't say cartoonish, but there was like a different aesthetic.
Punchy.
Yeah, I would say that's a good way to describe it. And so like this was a little more real. I don't know, a little more subdued. It didn't feel like a Call of Duty game at first because with me, I really only played Black Ops games, right? I never really was a fan of like Modern Warfare games, and so this is the first Modern Warfare game that I was like intensively playing, and so that switch to the Modern Warfare style like was not really. I did not like it that much, but slowly over time, like I enjoy the game. I like the graphics. I wouldn't say that they're amazing, but it's not like a negative for me anymore. Like I don't mind them as much. So I think that was my first impression of the game. And then, they the development team and the staff, they do listen to their community, right? I feel like they've done a good job in like understanding what people want from the game. So Shoot House being a fan favorite, they made that like a 24/7 playlist. I don't know why they get rid of it from time to time, but Shoe House like 24/7 is a staple. I think everyone is like in unanimous like agreement with that. Like keep that 24/7. And for a majority of the time it has been up for us to play. They brought back some classic maps, like Rust and stuff, so those are fun as well. And then some of the game modes they have are pretty cool and creative. Again, I don't remember that much from the other games, but like the 3v3 snipers only is pretty fun. I really enjoy that. Like me, you, and Sagar, or whoever we play with. Like honestly, this game has helped me get really good at quickscoping again. I mean, not again. I never was good, and like finally, I'm decent at quickscoping, which also helps in the gulag now. So I feel like they do multiple things right, and they're constantly tweaking different aspects of the game to keep it not only fresh, but like making you better at certain things. So for example, like recently they just like put out a new sniper, right? And you need to quick scope people 3 times in a match, and then you have to do it in 5 matches. So like they're like trying to force you to get better at one aspect of the game to unlock a gun, right? And so those kind of things I find really cool because it like makes you do things you don't want to, and like you could easily just go back into this thing where you're just only using your SMG and just running and gunning. But with like these different guns and how you unlock them, it makes you want to do other things. Like, for example, using a thermal on an LMG to unlock the Bruin, right? So
I hated that. That was dumb.
yeah,
I don't agree.
but for me at least, it was like I found out that I really love thermals, right? Like thermals, I think is like my go-to optic now, because what it does for me. And again, you're more patient. Like me, I'm not patient. I like running. You know how I play. I just like running straight and dying, right? That's what I do like half of the time. So by using a thermal, it like makes me like aim down and look a lot more than I would if I just had an iron sight and my aim down sight speed was good and I'm just relying on reaction. So it like slows down my gameplay, which I found really interesting and cool for me. And so what you can do with that is like explore the different gameplay styles that people can use, like run and gun, playing a little more steady, being a sniper, whatever style suits you. And so by doing that, like you can like explore multiple styles, and I really like how they're like constantly tweaking and doing things to make you be a little outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah, if you guys want to understand Sagar's like play style, imagine a tunnel, and then imagine a tunnel within the tunnel. That's the type of tunnel vision that he has. He'll just run into battle. And hey, let's say it was Black Ops 1 Saga, he wouldn't have been able to kill multiple people. But now, he's got like quints. He gets quads and quints on the regular with his MP5 or anything like that in multiplayer. And so, I mean, one thing, he doesn't look at the mini-map. Sometimes there'll be a VTOL in the air, and he's like, oh, there's a VTOL. And it's like, yeah, it's, been up there for, it's almost gone, actually. And then it's like, the awareness isn't is funny sometimes, but yeah, it's Augur's gotten 10, 20, 30, 50 times better at Call of Duty after this one. Which is awesome, you know?
I also
you
think, I put
played the
time.
other ones
Yeah.
a decent bit as well, but this one, we're on PC now.
Yeah, I think that's the main reason.
And not to say, I don't think PC is easier than console.
No.
I think it suits you better.
Exactly.
Because you're just not a controller person.
I'm not. You see me playing Smash, like, I have these, like, big hands, and I don't know, like, no controller I've ever held in my hand has felt natural to me. They're very annoying. And so, like, my thumbs are big, and, like, so when I move my, like, joysticks around, it's not very precise. And, like, with the mouse, it's so much easier for me to just, grip it with my entire hand and then just, like, kind of point and shoot. Makes it a lot easier for me.
Mm-hmm. Like, with I will say, sniping on PC is definitely easier.
Yes.
But everything else is easier on console because of the aim assist.
Yes, that is a big factor.
Aim assist is essentially, what's it called?
Aimbot?
When you lock aimbot. You basically got a built-in aimbot because you're on console, which I think is fair. Otherwise, I think PC would have too much of an advantage, and crossplay is pretty interesting. I also hate it when these console idiots just complain that they're playing against PC people. Like, oh, you got a PC. They're like, you can disable crossplay.
Yeah, you can.
You don't have to play against PC people.
Yeah, it's not
if
like
you think
you're
they're
forced
that
to.
much better.
Exactly.
And how about you just get good at the game? Like, at that point, like, there's so many. Like, Nick Merckx plays on console.
He does?
Yeah, he's a
Interesting.
PS4 guy.
Oh yeah, I did notice that. Like, for his like buttons to pick up stuff, yeah, it was like X square and all that stuff.
Yeah. So it's like, stop complaining.
Yeah.
Just get good, kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess with Warzone, because we kind of brushed over it. Like, we enjoy playing it, but we never talked about the gameplay in and of itself.
No, we haven't.
I like the advancements they've made. I like how they've changed some of the overpowered guns. Like, the Grau is still pretty good, but they're like, okay, it's too much of a laser long range. Let's reduce long range viability for it. They nerfed the MP5 in medium to long range, and so they're trying to not make it like a 2-gun meta where everyone's using the Grau and MP5, and it's kind of turned into, like, people use the Bruin a lot now.
Yeah.
It's very prevalent, but people still use the Grau. It's still viable. People use the M4 now. The M13 is more viable. The Kilo is more viable. The AMAX is more viable. So you're finding a lot of variety in the guns now. People still use MP5 mostly, but I see some MP7s around, and I personally like the AUG. I haven't tried it in Warzone yet, but I might. The aim down sight is pretty slow overall, but it might be fun to use. I want to try it at least once. We'll see.
I will say,
I'm just addicted to the Bruin MP5
I feel
combo.
like they buffed the MP7 because I've been using it for the last couple of weeks, and I have been melting people with it. It is like a tiny death machine. Like, even like the last time we played a couple nights ago, like, I got a team wipe. I killed a whole team, like 3 people. We were playing trios, and like, it just melted them. And like, I don't remember it being that good. Like, maybe like a month or two ago.
Where the MP7 has always been good.
Yeah.
They just put it in the game in Warzone as a ground pickup.
Oh, really? Okay, maybe that's it. Because
Yeah,
like, man,
they
that
didn't have it
thing is sharp. That's the
Yeah, they really, so the ground guns are pretty interesting. I like how they keep changing it up. The one thing I don't understand is why you would make the M4 burst. That thing is the worst thing. Like, I would rather have my starter pistol long range across Verdansk than the M4 burst.
I've died multiple times too, just picking up an M4 and thinking it was fully auto, and then like my gun stops shooting. I'm like, what? And then I die.
It's not even that. It's just that the burst is terrible.
Is it really? I haven't picked it up at all.
The spread is bad. The fire rate is stupid. It doesn't make sense to use, in my opinion. Like, legitimately, nope, I won't say it. I will not say I would rather use the VLK Rogue, but I will say it's pretty trash. It's VLK Rogue, like, all the shotguns, because they're all slugs, and a burst M4, those are the worst things you could pick up.
Yeah,
in my
I
opinion.
would agree. They did buff the FAL. I kind of want to talk about that. Like that gun is so good for me, but it's kind of interesting because typically, like me and you, when we use guns, we'll agree on like we like those guns, and like AMAX, we both like. You like it a little more than me. We both like the Bruin. It's a laser, but with the FAL, I think that's one of the few guns where we have like a differing opinion, and it's not even opinion; it's just our playstyle, and like it doesn't fit you, but it fits me, and I think that's the first gun where that's happened for us. And
Yeah,
so
the foul annoys
I
me.
find it
I don't know
interesting.
why.
And I think again, it's like with your gameplay versus mine, where you're like a little more precise with your shots, whereas me, I'm just like boom, 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 and like that's what I do with the FAL. I just like rapidly click, and I don't really. I think of it just like as an auto gun, and I don't really focus on aiming down because it'll kill in 2 to 3 shots for me, and like it's one of my favorites now. I've been going on like pretty good like multiplayer matches with it, like getting 40 to 50 kills with it. So it's like it's up there for me now.
Yeah, I guess for me, I'm always correcting my aim,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm trying to. So if a gun it pulls up to the right, I'll pull down to the left. So it's always on the person, right? And so with the foul, I don't know. I just can't. I don't understand how to bring it back on them, and it's just not in my nature to just I like trigger fingering, but I like it when I know how to pull it down, because if I can pull it down, then I understand it more. But I don't understand the spread on the foul. I guess I should just like let it go and not even do that, but it's so ingrained to because that's how you kill people longer range. That's how you kill people faster in general, is correcting the spread
Yeah.
of the gun.
Hmm.
And I don't know. I guess I can't figure it out.
And so like if
So then I
you
stop using
yeah.
I'll use that for half a game,
Hmm.
and I just can't figure it out. I'll switch to the AMAX, immediately get a gunship.
Yeah.
It's like I just can't. I don't understand it.
And so like if and like and you've seen me like a couple of times on like when you're watching my gameplay, like either when you're dead or just like spectating. Um Most of the times when you see me get kills with it, it's like very close range. Like I'm just going up to them and like drilling them down. Like long range, the foul in my opinion not very good. I tried using a class in Warzone and like I couldn't hit them in range. Like pretty, it was like mid range and I couldn't do like reliable damage. So it's definitely a very close quarters gun. In the case of the AMAX, like you can drill people short range, long range, so it has more like versatility. Whereas the foul is just that very dominant in that short range.
I think so. I think that's that all goes with your play style. So
Mm-hmm.
the AMAX is actually better medium to short range and not good long range because of the recoil. The FAL is pretty decent medium to short range, and then long range, yeah, it's pretty bad because
Yeah.
there's single fire guns are kind of annoying in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting, right? Like the FAL is a good gun. I can see how it is good because there are some spurts where I'm like, dang, this thing is really good. Then I don't know. I don't know what happens. It's just that can't go off sometimes on with it, and that just annoys me. And so I'll stick to my what I know best. Maybe I'll try it here and there, but I took off my foul class real quick.
Again, I think it's also like a matter of consistency. Like we both don't appreciate guns that are not very consistent. I think a prime example is like the Model 680, where like you would think you could consistently kill people in 1 or 2 shots, but not necessarily the case, and like that throws your entire like encounter off because you're like, what, should have killed him by now. And so I could see that with the foul because like there's some games where I start with it and like it just does not feel right. It's very weird.
Yeah, I'll hear you say, did they nerf the foul in the last 2 days?
Exactly. And like, so I don't know what it is. It's again, it's like one of those not quantifiable and non-describable things about it. And like some guns are just not consistent. And like that, I think the foul suffers from that a little bit, in my case at least. But like other than that, yeah, decent gun for me.
But I do like how they buffed it, right? Like it's pretty cool that it's a one-shot headshot. And so
that is a game changer.
yeah, and so in terms of Warzone, let's say the meta right now Like before the meta is Brew and MP5. If you used anything else, it's probably like a sniper. But now it's viable to use the Bruin, the MP5, the Grau, like all the assault rifles I said before, the M4, M13, AMAX you could use. But people also use the PKM, pretty popular, because large belt, very low recoil, long range. And then you've got the HDR, probably the best sniper, and then the AX50 right behind it, basically the same thing. And then I thought, the FAL, I thought the boost to the FAL would increase its prevalence in Warzone, but it really hasn't.
No,
but
not at all.
It is still pretty decent. But yeah, I mean,
I will say
MP7
that if I
well,
have
so
a choice, like with the drops that happen, like if you gave me like a silenced M13 or like a FAL or like a thermal AK, I'm taking the FAL because I know I can melt people with it in like short range. Like you saw me that one game where we kind of just went balls to the wall, and like I had a FAL and I went to that like blue building and I just like destroyed 2 people like so quickly with it. So like for me at least, I still like picking it up, but I don't think it's worth like investing a slot in your class for it.
Yeah, between those 3 guns, definitely. I hate the thermal AK. M13's not bad, I guess. I don't like it too much. And then FAL definitely just melts. In Warzone, I like the FAL a little bit more than in multiplayer.
Yeah.
Personally.
It's a good one. Versatile.
Definitely. I wish, so sometimes, like, in Warzone, it's fun. I like how you can have different playstyles, and different playstyles can win in different ways. Because when we're playing with Sauger, we like to not land middle.
Yeah.
And personally, I would like to land in the most populated zones and try and get a bunch of kills and win in that fashion. Because if you do that, you can get a lot of money and ammo by killing other teams. Yeah. And you have little need to do contracts and go elsewhere. You can still do them along the way, too. Like, pick up bounties or something. But, I mean, at the same time, it's also more risky. You might lose more games. And so if you land, like, when we play with Sauger, we land one of 2 places basically every single time. We either land Dam or we land Port. And essentially catty corner parts of the map. And they're very outskirtsy. So you can pick up guns, you can get contracts, you get money, you get your loadout, you slowly go in the circle, kill people along the way. It's fun. I don't mind it. It's also a fun way to play. So there's like different ways to play and have fun in Warzone, I feel.
Yeah, and I think that's the key point. Like there's multiple ways to win a game of Warzone. Like sometimes we'll win a game and we'll have like 20 to 30 combined kills, like when we get a victory. And then I remember our latest victory, we combined for like 8 kills, right? And it's not like we in quads. And it's not like we were camping. We were moving the entire time. We just didn't find that many people. And so there's definitely multiple ways to win. It also depends on so basically you have the play style of 150 different people into a map, right? So like when you try to like branch it out into the different ways things can play out, there's like infinite ways it can play out. So that's another interesting aspect of it, right? Like there's no tried and true way to always win a game of Warzone. I mean, there may be like if you're just a god at the game and you just kill everyone, sure, but like even then you can get like trapped between like 2-3 teams, and in that case, maybe hard to escape from those situations.
No, yeah, even the best players don't win every single game of Warzone.
Yeah,
they win a small percentage of their games.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a large percentage
than
compared
ours,
to everyone else.
But
yeah. I mean, it's interesting. That game where we were playing quads and we only had like 8 combined kills. Like literally, I didn't have a single kill until the final circle, and it pissed me off. To me, it gets so boring if we play like that. But I mean, it's a winning strategy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe one game we should just try getting a bunch of recons camping middle circle with Ghost or something. I don't know, and see what happens, because it's probably a pretty decent way to win games. But I remember, final circle. Literally 0 kills, and then I got 4, and then 2 seconds later it was over.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think
so
it was like 4, 3, 2, 1 kills on our team, which is crazy. Lowest. That is great. I think it was our first quads win anyway.
And
we don't really play quads.
And what I find funny is that the games where we start off really strong, I don't think we've won too many of them. It's like the games, where we get our loadout, we have like tens of thousands of dollars. We have UAVs, gas masks, self revives. Those are the games we end up dying pretty quick, and the games where we go to the gulag pretty early, or like we get stuck in gas and then have to respawn in. Those are the games we won, like more often than not. So it's kind of interesting.
Kind of. I think it's been a little bit of. There's a variance to it.
Yeah.
I'd say there are some reasons as to why, but I won't explicitly say any of said reasons.
You're not quote tweeting him. You're just kind of shadow tweeting at him.
I'm not saying anything.
Okay. And then
at who?
So
I don't know what you're saying, dude. You're quote tweeting someone. I don't know what you're saying.
I think we agree that great game mode and like super successful. And I kind of want to talk about like how genius Warzone is in terms of grabbing people to play more, right? And the whole idea of how it's free. Do you remember if the last Battle Royale was free, like for Black Ops? I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
No, right? So what I love about this is that this is a Battle Royale where it's like a hybrid between a Battle Royale and COD, right? And what's one of the most important things in COD? It's creating your class to your specification and with the attachments you want on your guns. And how do you do that? By leveling up guns. So the genius of this Battle Royale is that they've made it free and it's a great product. And what makes a great product even more fun? When you're good at it, like we talked about earlier. And how do you get good at it? You need to make a good class. And to make a good class, you're probably going to need to buy the game and play multiplayer because that's how you level up a gun. And so the whole idea of like trying to convert these free players that play Warzone into getting multiplayer, I think is a genius idea because it works, right? Like people had to spend time leveling up guns. Like for example, the Grau was such a great gun, but to get those attachments like the barrel and the monolithic and the tac laser, you need to level it up quite a bit. And the only way to reliably
basically
do that,
max.
Yeah, and the only way to reliably get it to that level is by playing multiplayer. So I just like it's so genius in how the game is free, yes, but they have like a structure in place where it's natural and you're incentivized to play the multiplayer, which is paid. So I really like the genius level like marketing and like product design they did to that. Like I think that's a winning strategy and it's clearly worked. Like they've made so much money from this game.
Oh, it's very smart and it works because there's also skill-based matchmaking. And so those people who don't have the full game and they have basic classes and whatnot and basic attachments, they're likely not doing too hot and they may be dropping into games and getting their loadouts with lesser KD people.
Yeah.
And so, they also have a chance. And so then they have a chance at shooting other people and leveling up their guns. And so even if you don't need to buy the game, it's slower, but you can level up your guns in that way too. And then I feel like they were almost forced to have a free-to-play Battle Royale because of the success of everyone else's.
Yes.
But if like Apex Legends, Fortnite, PUBG, if you made a Battle Royale and it wasn't free, like I'm fairly certain Black Ops 4 was not a free Battle Royale.
Yeah.
And that just showed like nobody played it. It was pretty trash. And you have to have free Battle Royales nowadays, but it's also the genius part of it
is how they complemented it with their like existing product.
Exactly. It's a very well integrated product. And I think it's interesting that they released it like later.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we were playing multiplayer for months before Warzone came out. We played a few games of Plunder and then we were like,
I don't know why we played Plunder.
Because we just did whatever. Because Anjane played with his friends.
Yeah.
And then we're like, all right, he probably knows what's fun. Let's play that. And then we didn't have fun. So I mean, then we played a little bit more and we had a little more fun. And it's very smart that I think they also happened to release it at the perfect time with COVID.
100%.
But I mean, at the same time, they released it before COVID. I'm pretty sure, or during.
I think it was like it was like
right as
spot on timing, like when they released it. Because I remember, I didn't get to play it too much because I was studying for my master's oral, and like when I was studying for the master's oral was when like things were getting really serious with like COVID and like things were.
You heard it here first,
starting
everyone.
To shut down.
Call of Duty spread coronavirus so that they could get better sales of their games.
That's definitely what we're saying.
Dude, that's what you're
Allegedly.
saying. Not me.
I need to add allegedly to that. So
Not me. I
Don't
didn't
get
say
sued.
nothing, bruv.
yeah. So
Yeah, I'm just playing. I'm playing.
no, you're not. You're serious.
Shut up. Anyway, I want to play some COD now.
Yeah, I do too.
You wanna hop
yeah.
on?
Yeah, I'm gonna hop on in a little bit. It's definitely, again, also just a quick touching point. Like the replayability is great, right? Like we don't really get tired of the game. Like we play forever. We can get tired of Warzone a little bit because it's so slow, but you're constantly like in action in like regular multiplayer, and that's why we keep on going back to every like title for the hope that the next title will give us that same enjoyment. And so they really have a winning product with this game, and hopefully they continue this like level of quality and hype into the next series of games they do.
I did want that last thing I said to be the final thing, but now I just thought of something else in that when they don't have, like, let's say Shoot House or Shipment 24/7 or like some sort of 24/7
Yeah.
map that's not AIDS, I don't enjoy multiplayer as much.
Good point. That's a great point.
And it'd be a different thing if they had 3v3 snipers or something like that while they didn't have those.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes they just strike out on all the playlists. And it's because they want to put their new map in the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like Cheshire Park. It's not bad. But I like what they did with Cheshire Park and Shoot House. They're like, all right, people will want to play Shoot House. They'll also play Cheshire Park.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, if they had two separate playlists, I'd only be playing Shoot House right now.
Yes.
But, I've learned to like Cheshire Park as well. So, like, it's smart what they're doing with the playlist, but sometimes they literally put up stinkers.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the times I'd rather play Warzone. And that is very rare because I would 9.9 times out of 10 rather play multiplayer than Warzone.
Yeah.
Even though Warzone is fun. I'm not saying Warzone is bad. I'm just saying
more enjoyment from
the multiplayer is great. They did it correctly this time.
Mm-hmm. And I'm also interested to look at their data, like when they have a playlist without Shipment, Rust, or Shoot House, like how much of their multiplayer playtime declines. That'd be an interesting stat to look at.
I think you just got to look at the turnaround time before they bring back those playlists.
True.
It's pretty quick usually. And so I'm pretty sure multiplayer does dwindle when those maps aren't around.
Yeah, I think that's a great point to end on. Shoot House is goated. 100%.
Shoot House is goated.
Yeah.
One of the greatest Call of Duty maps of all time.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Let's hop on some COD.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
All right, man. That was the 1ND podcast. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Our website is actually finished now. It is karmastyles.com. Please check it out. Spent a lot of time on that. Regrettably. Not really. It was a good time. It feels good now that it's done.
Yeah, no, for sure. And we would definitely appreciate if you go check it out. Let us know what you think. Buy some merch. And 1ND out.